not drive in traffic to even see that kind of thing happening. Meanwhile, there are people in that bus. If that boy didn't give them that money, they probably would have starved that day. So let's talk about giving. I also know that you are also charitarious towards Christianity. I believe you're Anglican by faith.
Yes, I am. I am.
We saw a humongous Anglican church that you built. Tell us a bit about that.
Wow. Okay. Well, I think I did that because it was my mom's wish. You understand what I'm trying to say? She asked us to try to help the church to finish the church. And we argued because I told her I'd rather build hospitals and schools because the church we have, the main church we have, is not always filled up yet. But I think when they get back
let's clap for you. Let's clap for you. Wait. I said you don't want to be our governor. We don't force you to be governor.
I get what did I think.
Oh yeah, talk.
I think we need a day for this. We come back again some other time. So when I told her, I started saying that, okay, St. Paul's Anglican Church is not yet filled up. Let's be going there. While I use these resources to do schools or hospitals or maternity home where people can. So, but what she said that, my son, you can do this one and still do those ones. You understand? So that's why I like Rusty. That place was done in a record 4 months plus. Because they started work 22nd of August and we commissioned where we worship there on 31st. We're still putting finishing touches. Okay? So that's it about that. Now, what we're talking about giving is, I'll give you an example. When I was in University of Nigeria, I used to have a little boy who I took as my little cousin. And I encouraged him. I said, you must go to school. He didn't want to go to school. We argued. He said he wanted to go and do apprenticeship. He went to Lagos. He didn't work. He came back. I was my third or final year then. He came back and I said, you will go and take job because the best equipment you need in this life is education. That's the best thing I'll give you in this life. So as a student then, as a student in final year, political science, University of Nigeria, Soka, as a 1998, I was paying his school fees and WAEC fees. Doing youth service, but I saw him through school as a student. So I didn't have, before I started that. You understand what I'm trying to say? My first son, Alex, the mother cannot pass, in Abuja, when you stop by traffic, I see all those boys that carry plates and lean on your window like this. If you must give them money or pizza or anything you have that is edible, you must. Otherwise, he will not eat for the next 2 days. And he doesn't have 1 naira. So now I'm trying to tell you that giving is not just about being rich. It's a thing of the mind. Okay? Okay. So that's it.
Awesome. I know you are in a hurry to go somewhere. This could have lasted the whole day. The gist is too much. Let us end real quick. At least it would be hypocritical of me, and I'm sure of everybody listening, to say we didn't read it in the news that you were invited by, at one point, the EFCC, and I even discussed that in a live video on my own, and also the NDLEA. In your own words, can you just explain what is going on?
Wow. My bro, I think in growth, in life, people must face certain challenges in life. I am facing mine right now. But I think the most painful of them, you see, I was in detention for 4 days and 3 nights. I didn't feel bad because I knew that the agency will do a thorough job, and if I am cleared, I'll be let to go. There was no witch hunting. Nobody was after me.
So you believe,
hope
that the EFCC will do their job well?
They are a professional agency, I'm sure. I'm very sure. I have no doubt whatsoever. But to link me to drug, I've never felt so low. As in, I wasn't linked. Let us say that certain figure.
Sorry, take that again. Paul cut your audio. Paul cut your audio. So take that again. You were saying that you were not linked.
Never. But my own is that anything that has to do with narcotics, with drugs, I mean, to me, it's repulsive. It's something I have made a covenant with my God, with my children, with my unborn generation, that I will never support, I will never invest, I will never be part of it, I will never, and I still make the covenant before God and before everybody in this life. So that was the only thing that could say, that's the thought of even that invitation. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Clearly.
Because this is something we fight every day. This is something that destroys generation. This is something that my children can be victim of. So no sane human being, no human being that has brain. I wasn't accused though. I was never linked to anything, but they said that somebody paid money into my account, which I believe that the agency in question also is a very, very responsible one. And I know that at the end of the day, whenever they are done with the investigation, it will be made public to the public. And that's the much I want to talk about it, please. It's a sad phase I don't want to go or discuss, but I just want to say it, and then let's talk about giving.
Let's talk about giving. So, ladies and gentlemen, like you heard from Cubana himself, we all respect the EFCC and the NDLEA and believe they're thorough organizations and believe that they will handle their investigations thoroughly and make whatever is investigated known to the public. So we thank them for that and look forward to that. Now let's get back to giving. 2022 is a brand new year. We just begin the year. I know you have a wedding, so this is like more like your parting note as you are going. What act of do you want to shock Nigeria with? I know that boy already. I don't see that boy future. I don't see that boy cross-leg for office already. That boy with the shape pure water. I don't imagine.
No, the boy.
Where he
the boy. You see, we have to do first things first. Like what I want to do is that I want you to track down the boy, and I'm offering him a lifetime.
Into my DM, any link to that boy into my DM now. I'm going to go as far as sending Punch. I have them on my speed dial. We will look for.
To get him so that he has to go to school, because I think that is his ambition. He has to go to school. I will see him through the university, and if he wants to do masters abroad, anything, I'll make sure he's comfortable while going to school. Because, like I said earlier, that is the best arm. When you see, when you want to go to war,
dance for Peking. We don't have. He wants to go and do masters. You don't get.
He will do university, anything he wants. It's not a problem. And then, by God's grace, I know I'll still be standing by the time he's done with school. He has a place in any of my organizations at the top level. And if by God's grace he finds a higher calling, you see, there's nothing tied. There's nothing tied to this. Nothing. I don't expect anything in return. I'm not giving any conditions for this. But if he chooses not to go back to school, we can now hear what he wants to do, and then we see him through that. The most important thing is to know that he has seen in me, he has in me a mentor, he has in me a life guide. Somebody guide him through this rough place called world, okay? And make it easy for him through God. So I believe that God will give me the health and the strength. Okay, and my wife is, I'm sure she's following this program. She's listening to me, so nobody will say that I made a mistake. I'll have more water in my mouth. I know what I've said, and I know what I am saying. So my own is that the guy will go to any university of his choice in good condition, not just to pay school fees. When I say good conditions, you understand what I mean? Because he has a heart of God. This is the kind of people we need to be. I even want to, in fact, I pray that people will even want to do eye service to get my attention. Let them do this kind of thing. When doing that, you don't know when you get used to it, the world become a better place. You understand?
Amen. Amen. Those are very clear. They say, he who does not love does not know God. If you cannot love, you can pray from morning till night. You can build 7 churches. In fact, your bedroom might be behind an altar. But
you don't go church now. Come, look, we thought the one who concerned us. That the please. You don't carry me to church. Please.
Say, even me.
I am good. I am flying. Don't worry. They don't follow you
play. Instead of building church.
Yes, I understand.
Do you know that if all our big geos in Nigeria, if they thought like that, Nigeria has the best churches in the world, and we don't have an Ivy League university. We have the biggest churches in the world, and we don't have a world standard hospital. New York alone gets 2 or 3 world standard hospitals. The UK gets enough world standard hospitals. We don't have one in this whole country. So we need more people, not just to give like you, but to think like you. Ladies and gentlemen,
I understand you.
Obi Cubana.
I understand you. You see, my own is that everything we do in life is something that should be worthy of emulation. And that's why, if you read my write-ups every Monday, I take out time to write between Friday and Monday and put it up here. It is to people learn. You see the comments, people learn. You see, that's why it's good that whoever is going to teach should teach right. Because you don't know who and who are looking up to you. You don't know who and who you are influencing. You don't know who and who you are copying you. If you have up to 100,000 followers, you know what it means for 100,000 people to follow you? 100,000. A full capacity stadium is 60,000. 60,000. And you know when they roar, there's a goal. You know the kind of noise that comes out of a stadium. So you can know what is 100,000 people. So whatever we do on this social media should be something that generation, because we can't come and destroy this world and live. We made it good. We should make it better before we leave. Okay? So anything we do is, so I pray that every hawker today should start looking for Black Maria. Let them give them their money. Somebody else might take it from there. Me, I've done my own bit. I'm sure people will still give that guy money. God, in his infinite mercies, will also bless the guy because he sees through his heart. Okay? So I pray that people will do eye service to be seen, so that the fees and the Cubana will talk about them. I pray so. In doing that, they are making the world a better place without knowing that.
A better place.
The greatest sacrifice is in giving. The 2 principles of everything God, Christ teaching is love. Love. Love for God and love for man. And that is what is my guiding principle in this life.
And do you know love for man is more important than love for God? Because if you can't love man that you have seen, how do you
can't love God that you cannot see?
And not see. And nasty Bible talk him. So you are worshiping God, not by praying, but by giving. Giving is an act of worship.
It is.
If you are too busy to pray, give. If you are too weak to fast, give. All now still worshiping God. Sometimes you have money to give. You can help somebody, a sick person, wash their clothes. You can help a sick person pick up their children from school.
Even words of encouragement. It is well. It is well with you. Our people say, GCK, oh, that means well done.
Well done.
It is enough. It is enough. It must be physical. It can be by encouragement. It can be praying silently for somebody who is going through. People go through hell. Silently praying for them is also an act of love. Instead of that pull down syndrome. That's
instead of let me ask you one question. Everybody knows Cubana is generous, and it does have its disadvantages. I'm sure internet beggars will fool your DM. How do they cope with them?
I don't do giveaways. Have you noticed? I empower people. I don't share money on my page.
I cannot run to your house.
I'm not anybody. You see,
an idea.
You see, everybody will have their unique way of helping. There are people who do that. It goes a long way. It goes a long way because that 100K you give might feed a family for 1 month without you knowing that. Yes. But my own style is sustained empowerment, because if I give you 1 million today, it's a matter of time. It will finish. You will come back or you move to the next person. And you buy internet, MB, you load, you go again, you collect. But when you are empowered and you look at, like when you are rearing a fowl from chicks, and every day you wake up, you go straight to your poultry, you look at them, you feed them, you give them water, you go to work. Once they're coming back, you look at them. As they're growing, your heart is gladdening. Your heart is gladdening. So you look up to something, waking up and going to bed. So that is what we do. Before you go to bed, you think about this thing, and then you guide you. It's not as if people have made mistakes. So even once you give them 10 million, 100 million, it will finish. No money does not finish in this world. There's no money that will not finish. Okay? But it's better that I guide you through and I teach you how to fish than giving you one basket of fish, because the fish at some point will finish. You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it.
Forget it. How the guy they take whistle and whistle.
No,
Ladies and gentlemen, the man of the people himself.
Thank God. You see what you told me, let's come and do live one more. I fear because your English no day here. So I was saying, which kind? What I go tell this man today?
My English no get power reach your giving. So if I don't
no.
Take strike me, everybody go say that if freeze. See, they have warned you. So make I just gently maintain myself. And
you see, in teaching, you keep it simple, so it will enter. So you kept it as simple as possible, and I'm sure it entered out of heads today. You see now.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still looking for that lovely gentleman who gave out that money in traffic, who gave those prisoners that money. We're looking for him. Daddy Freeze and Cubana, they find you. If now you DM me now, call me, WhatsApp me, bug me. I don't want to make you say, I know the guy. Now no, we want the guy go. We want change.
The guy, his video is there now. When we see him,
we know it.
By the special grace of God right now, with our position, we can put him in any university of his choice within this Nigeria. And if he does well and decides to further it abroad, he can go. If he decides to stop at this level and work and settle some of his immediate responsibilities, maybe get married, or if the choice lies entirely in his hands. And there's no condition whatsoever tied to this, whatsoever. Okay? So,
give and do not expect anything in return. When you that person will blow and come and remember you. it is still not giving. Giving is when you give and take away. So, Big Cubana, thank you for
the
joining
feast
us.
of the world.
Enjoy your wedding. My regards to your wife.
My beautiful wife, Lush Baby. I'm
Please,
sure she's watching.
Praise her a little. Igbo man, you can even use Igbo to greet her. Let her know that, because you don't know me, I'm like this today because I have a good wife. When you have
you're married to my sister. You're married to my sister now.
Problem to help other people. When you have a good wife, the world will benefit from you. When you have a bad, your primary assignment is sorting out your family issues. So use this opportunity to greet that woman that can contain you. That
Lush.
That stands.
Lush.
Encourages you.
My
No matter
Lush.
trials or tribulations.
My Lush. My apple now.
Hey,
The sauce in my Cubana fish. You see, she's my stress reliever. Okay? So you know when I get all this stress and come back home, once he does it like this, on my head, I sleep. She's actually the best gift that God has given me in this life. And I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful to God, and I love her with my life. So that's why when I tell her, chop this life, I mean, you can chop this life, but I'm not gonna understand. Chop life can be corn, no. We're not simple. It can be corn.
Oh,
it can be roasted yam. It can be boneless. She loves boneless. But that is what we call chop life. I will go chop this life, Taya. When we don't finish, when we don't old.
From? Where is she from?
Obosi and Oba, neighboring. We are just almost like center. Obosi.
Okay. Anambra like you.
Just the next town, and then next door you can drive from my house to her house.
Anambra wife.
No. Highly recommended, though. Highly recommended. Very highly recommended. See you now. See us in the globe. Not my in-law.
This the way you talk. The person will just come house. Everywhere go just be peaceful. Anambra women. I'm speaking from experience.
Yes, of course. Now I see as DJ
Where you want to go again? This is that they continue to go.
Of course now. Abba.
Oh yeah, come they go your wedding. Oh yeah, make you drive. Oh yeah, they go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the king of nightlife, dangerous giver, wonderful personality, Obi Cubana himself. That was an awesome interview. But I just had to drive him because he has very important occasions to attend. And yet he decided to grace this one.